Hey, Ken.
Jim, how you doing?
Good. Welcome to Casaloppaloosa. Finally got out here.
I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here.
What'd you bring me out here for?
Well, as we've discussed, I want to make a recording of all the little nooks and crannies that I put together here in the last 10 years. This has been a project of my lifetime. It's been a dream come true putting this together. Never dreamed I'd ever be able to do what I did here. The craftsmanship, the work, the time, the vision, been a major part of my life for a long time, and I'd certainly like to get it down to be able to review later. So why don't we take a look around and kind of walk through here and talk about how this thing got started and where we are today, and I think it'll be interesting.
I'm excited to see it. Let's go.
Well, I came out here about 10 years ago, discovered the Santa Rosa Valley. We fell in love with the entire area, the peacefulness out here, the rural feel, privacy, a lot cooler temperatures. And we were lucky to find a piece of property at that time that had not been completely built out. It was very livable. It was around 4,600 square feet at the time. Started out here in the front yard, which was basically nothing but ice plant and dirt. So the first project was creating something dynamic for the entryway. We used brick, combination of stone and brick, designed a facade for the lights, and combined with wrought iron, the birch trees, the sod, the planting to really give this a warm feel, rustic feel when you come into the front entryway.
Speaking of rustic, these bricks look pretty old.
Yeah, a lot of these bricks were in buildings in downtown Los Angeles. Some of them are probably 50, 80, 100 years old. I was able to get several loads of used brick when we started this project, and we mixed them in with manufactured used brick, and it really has created quite a nice effect. Very rustic, very traditional kind of a look, which is what we were after with the Tudor style home that we have here. Part of what you see here now as you're looking around to the front porch, the railing, the facade, the turret over on the right side there, all of this landscaping, none of this was here, we put all this in. Now that the landscaping is matured, I think that the feel we were trying to accomplish and develop is evident. It's very private, it's very green, it's very pretty, a lot of flowers, different colors. The backyard is completely private, and even parts of the front yard are very, very private, as you can see. And the way this property was situated right from the beginning, the main portion of the house being on the front section of the property, which is about 1/3 of an acre, and then the back area almost a full 2/3 of an acre, we were able to accomplish a secure compound with a very, very private feel to it. One of the first things we wanted to accomplish was to establish a nice front yard sod area, grassy area with landscaping, and some stone and some brick mixed in such a way as to soften the elevation from the street. It was a pretty radical elevation, so by doing the wall in layers, spreading it out like this and creating the style that we did with the brick and stone and some round end pieces and end cornices here along with the wall and wrought iron going up the hill, we felt like we created a nice multi-level area that gently rolls up to the street and accomplished a real nice effect for the front yard. It made the yard feel much, much bigger than it was and has given us quite a bit of privacy, as you can see.
Okay. This is one huge property line, Jim.
Yeah, as you can see, Ken, if you pan down along the street here, we tried to create the same effect and separate us from the street and the people driving by and the visibility with a combination of landscaping, trees, creative look with the stone and the columns and the brick and the wrought iron all mixed together while maintaining the flavor of the English Tudor style. There really isn't any place to view the entire property from the street. As you can see, we're shielded almost completely from the street as we walk down to the back gates here. Again, we've got the theme of the wrought iron and the stone and the brick running all the way through. This will give you an idea of what I was talking about before, where we built most of the main structure on the front third of the property. So we had the entire rear, pretty much 2/3 of the property, open for landscaping, garden, trees, pool. I was fortunate to be able to find a piece of property that's as flat and level as this that was almost completely usable. So we got to use it from corner to corner, side to side, pretty much. This is a full RV access with full hookups, 2 dump stations, 2 electrical hookups, 2 water hookups, 2 telephone hookups. I have friends come and visit. They park here in the back and set up basically their own private little camp area back here. And as we come into the back, we wanted to do something dynamic in the back of the yard and put a water effect in the back that sort of tied the rest of the yard together. And the masons that I was using at the time came across this particular fountain in Mexico, brought it up with them and installed it for me. And we built the wall around it actually, and what we tried to do with all the walls is create seating areas as well as a wall. So there's bullnose brick all the way around this, and it's just a nice place to sit and enjoy the afternoon, the weather.
More of that distressed look too.
Yes, a combination of stone, manufactured, used, and real sand mold bricks.
Gorgeous. Wow, really get a great view of the house from back here.
And in fact, in early March of this year, they filmed a wedding here. A lot of natural stuff here. These are wild roses. They grow like a vine, and you find them prevalent here in the Santa Rosa Valley. There's quite a few of them. Of course, the daisies do real well in the sun. The birch trees do real well. Now we put in, it's not quite a half court, but it's certainly big enough to have some fun out here playing ball without taking up too much of the yard. Around the fire pit here, which is also a pig pit.
A fire pit, that's great.
This actually is down 4 feet, and we lined it with fire bricks, so in order to roast a pig or do whatever, we'd have a clean way of doing it without having to dig a hole. We'll take a walk over here in the courtyard. We built sort of an English garden area in here with, again, a sort of a private seating area, fountain in the middle.
Look at that. Oh, man.
A lot of different places where people can sit, smokers can smoke, 2 or 3 people can have a conversation, or 6, 8, 10 people can have a conversation, and you're away from the rest of the crowd.
Was it important to you for you to create that sort of communal environment?
Well, I wanted to make good use of all the space without just having a bunch of space, and I wanted to create some use. And by doing it this way, we've been able to accommodate crowds of up to 200 people here, and nobody's in anybody's way. People just sort of disappear. Another completely separate area where people can gather and have conversation. When we set up food, we set up a buffet on this counter. Walk back into the barbecue area. Complete built-in barbecue here. And we installed under storage space, complete with drawers all the way through.
You weren't kidding when you said there's no waste of space here.
No, we tried to make use of everything.
This is literally an outdoor kitchen.
Sub-zero refrigerator here.
Jeez.
Wet sink here. 2 more bar stools accommodated over here. And then you can walk back into the next little private area. If you look down this gate here, to your right, Ken, is sort of like a gardener's entrance.
Oh, to the front, we're at the back of the front yard.
Right, we created sort of a little natural walkway there to the front so a gardener can get in without going across the patio.
I'm sure the gardener appreciates that.
We even use the space underneath the staircase here for storage, where we keep all of our outdoor chairs and things like that here in the wintertime underneath.
You know what? I'm seeing the pool. We got to go check the pool out. It's calling to me, especially on this hot day. Look at this. Literally an oasis.
And we got as large a pool as we could out of the area. We wanted to create a beach area, but we didn't want to waste too much of the water space. We wanted some waterfalls and some rocks, but we didn't want it to be overpowering, so we created a spread out version of a freshwater, a pool water, sort of a place to sit.
It's like a little tide pool.
Like a little tide pool, exactly. Another one over here with benches in it so you can sit.